I stare at the receipt in my hand, and my fingers have gone completely numb. The paper trembles, but not from any breeze coming through our bedroom window. It's March 15th, and I'm supposed to be looking for my phone charger in Marcus's jacket pocket. Instead, I'm holding proof that my husband spent $10,000 at Cartier 2 weeks ago. My birthday was 12 days ago. He gave me a keychain, a wooden keychain with our initials carved into it, which he presented with an apologetic smile, and a promise that money's been tight with the new business expenses. I sit down on the edge of our bed because my legs have stopped working properly. The receipt is dated February 28th. I know this date. I know it because it was the day Marcus told me we needed to cancel our anniversary trip to Charleston. The day he said his startup was hemorrhaging cash, and we had to tighten our belts. The day I offered to pick up extra shifts at the medical clinic where I work as a physician's assistant, and he kissed my forehead and called me his rock. $10,000 at Cartier for a diamond necklace according to the itemized description. I take a photo of the receipt with my phone. My hands are steadier now. That's the thing about working in medicine for 8 years. You learn to function when your internal world is collapsing. I've held the hands of dying patients while my own heart was breaking. I've stitched wounds while processing terrible news. Right now, I carefully fold the receipt, place it back in the exact position I found it, and continue searching for that charger like my life hasn't just split into before and after. I find the charger. I plug in my phone. I go downstairs and start making dinner. Marcus comes home at 7:30, same as always. He kisses my cheek, asks about my day, compliments the chicken piccata. I watch him across the table, really watch him. He's wearing the new watch I noticed last month, the one he said was a gift from a client. His hair is freshly cut. There's a faint smell of cologne, not the one I gave him for Christmas. "How was your day?" I ask, cutting my chicken into precise, small pieces. Exhausting. 3 meetings back to back. The investors are demanding more projections. He runs his hand through his hair in that gesture I used to find endearing. "I might need to work late tomorrow night. Big presentation on Thursday." I nod. I smile. I ask if he wants more wine. That night, I wait until he's asleep. Then I go down to my home office and open my laptop. I start a document titled House Renovation Ideas and begin writing down everything I know. Every late meeting. Every unexplained expense. Every time he's redirected a conversation when I've asked about money. I'm methodical about it, noting dates and times. This is what I do. I document symptoms, track patterns, identify diagnoses. The pattern that emerges makes me feel sick. For the next 2 days, I continue as normal. I go to work. I smile at patients. I come home and cook dinner and watch Netflix with my husband and pretend I don't notice how often he checks his phone, how he angles the screen away from me, how he started keeping his wallet in his car instead of on the dresser. On Thursday morning, Marcus leaves early for his big presentation. He's wearing his best suit, the Tom Ford Navy one I helped him pick out 2 years ago when his company actually was doing well. He kisses me goodbye, tells me he'll be home late, that the presentation might run long and there's a dinner after. "Good luck," I tell him. "I believe in you." He smiles, and I see it now. The guilt that flashes across his face before he covers it with confidence. How did I miss it before? I call in sick to work 15 minutes after he leaves. I tell them it's a stomach bug. Then I get in my car and I follow my husband. He doesn't go to his office. He drives across town to the Grandview Hotel, one of those boutique places downtown with valet parking and a rooftop bar. I park on the street, far enough back that he won't see my car, close enough that I can watch the entrance. My heart is hammering so hard I can feel it in my throat. I don't have to wait long. At 9:47 a.m., a woman walks up to the hotel entrance. She's younger than me, maybe 26, 27. Blonde hair and beach waves, wearing a designer dress I recognize from a boutique window on King Street. She's checking her phone, smiling at something on the screen. Marcus appears in the lobby. I can see him through the glass doors. He sees her, waves, and the smile on his face makes something inside me crystallize into cold, hard clarity. That's not a business smile. That's not even an affair smile, really. That's the smile of someone who's comfortable, someone who's done this before, many times before. They embrace. His hand settles on the small of her back in a gesture so familiar, it tells me everything I need to know about how long this has been happening. They walk toward the elevators together, and I sit in my car watching them disappear. I don't cry. I take photos. I document the time. I note the make and model of her car, a white Mercedes C-Class with a license plate I photograph. Then I sit there for 3 hours, playing solitaire on my phone and thinking. At 1:15 p.m., they emerge. They stand in the lobby talking for a few minutes, and she's touching something at her neck. I zoom in with my phone camera, and my hands don't shake at all as I capture the image. A diamond necklace catching the light. Delicate, elegant, expensive. She kisses him goodbye, just a peck, careful of her lipstick, and leaves. He watches her walk away with the expression of a man who has everything he wants. Marcus goes back to his office. I go home. I have work to do. I spend the afternoon searching. Property records, business registration, social media. The woman's name is Amber Hetherington. She's a marketing consultant, at least according to her LinkedIn profile. She's also listed as a brand strategist for Marcus's company, which is interesting because he's never mentioned having anyone in that role. Her Instagram is public, and I scroll back through 6 months of carefully curated images. There, a photo from September with a champagne glass and a caption about celebrating new partnerships. In the background, barely visible, is Marcus's distinctive leather portfolio. I take screenshots of everything. That evening, Marcus comes home at 9. He looks tired, rumpled. The presentation was brutal, he says, loosening his tie. But I think we nailed it. That's wonderful, I say from the couch, where I've been reading a medical journal. Did the investor seem pleased? Yeah, cautiously optimistic. He heads to the kitchen, pours himself a bourbon. What did you do today? Just the usual. Work was slow. The lie comes easily. Oh, before I forget, Dr. Patterson mentioned that pharmaceutical conference in Chicago next month. She wants me to go, present our research on patient intake protocols. It's the weekend of April 15th. Is that okay? Marcus barely looks up from his phone. Sure. Yeah. That's great, babe. Good for your career. It's 3 days. Thursday through Sunday. No problem. He's texting someone, smiling at his screen. I'll probably use the time to catch up on work anyway. I bet he will. Over the next 2 weeks, I become a different person. On the surface, I'm the same Sarah, attentive wife, dedicated, PA, woman who remembers to buy Marcus's favorite beer and asks about his mother's health. Underneath, I'm documenting everything. I install a GPS tracker on his car, using an app I never knew existed until I spent an evening researching. I make copies of our financial records, every statement, every transaction. I notice he's been withdrawing cash in $500 increments twice a week for 4 months. I calculate the total. $16,000. Gone. Just vanished into cash transactions that don't appear on our credit cards. I start taking screenshots of his credit card statements before he can hide them. Restaurants I've never been to. Hotels. Charges to stores that sell women's clothing. A transaction at a spa that offers couples packages. On Valentine's Day, while I was working a 12-hour shift, Marcus spent $400 at a restaurant that requires reservations weeks in advance. He brought me gas station flowers that night, told me he was sorry he couldn't do more because of the business. I find receipts in his car, crumpled, shoved under the floor mat like he meant to throw them away but forgot. Lingerie from a boutique downtown. Shoes from Nordstrom, size 7. I'm a size 9. Another dinner, another hotel. A weekend trip to Savannah that coincides with a time he told me he was at a conference in Atlanta. The evidence piles up in my carefully organized folder. Documents within documents, dated and cross-referenced. Some of my colleagues think I'm obsessive about record-keeping at work, but it's saved us from malpractice suits twice. Details matter. Patterns matter. Truth lives in the accumulation of small facts. I also open my own bank account at a different bank. I start transferring money from our joint savings. Not a lot at once. Just small amounts that look like routine expenses. $200 here for groceries. $300 there for car maintenance. I'm careful. I take only what I've contributed, what I've earned. By the end of March, I have $8,000 in an account Marcus doesn't know exists. Then I hire a private investigator. His name is Robert Chen, and he comes highly recommended by one of the nurses at the clinic who used him during her own divorce. He's expensive, $200 an hour, but he's worth it. Within a week, he's confirmed what I already know and discovered things I didn't. Amber isn't just having an affair with Marcus. She's planning a future with him. Rob shows me screenshots of her text messages to friends. He has sources, he says, and I don't ask for details, talking about how M is going to leave his wife soon. How they're looking at condos together. How he's promised to invest in her marketing firm once his company goes public. There's more, Rob says during our meeting at a coffee shop across town from where I work. He slides a folder across the table. Your husband's business. It's not doing well. It's not doing well at all. I open the folder. Financial statements, investor reports. The company Marcus founded 3 years ago, the one that was supposed to make us rich, is operating at a massive loss. They've blown through 2 rounds of investor funding with virtually nothing to show for it. The 3rd round he's supposedly pitching right now? It's not going to happen. 3 of his 5 investors have already pulled out. He's been using company funds for personal expenses. Rob continues quietly. That's fraud, by the way. If his investors knew, they could press charges. And there's something else. That joint account you share? He's been transferring money out of it into a personal account your name isn't on. $35,000 over the past year. The coffee shop suddenly feels too hot. $35,000? Your inheritance from your grandmother. The money market account that matured in January. He transferred the full amount into his personal account and reinvested it in his failing business without telling you. My grandmother died 18 months ago. She left me $50,000 with specific instructions that it was for me, for my future. Marcus and I had discussed investing it wisely, saving it for a down payment on a bigger house someday. I trusted him to handle the financial details because he was good at that stuff. I take a sip of my coffee, but I can't taste it. What else? He's been looking at divorce attorneys. Browser history on his work computer. He's researched how to protect business assets in a separation, how to minimize alimony, what counts as marital property. So that's the plan. He's going to leave me, take whatever he can, and ride off into the sunset with Amber and my grandmother's money while his company collapses and I'm left with half of nothing. Get me everything, I tell Rob. Every transaction, every text message you can legally access, every hotel check-in. I want timestamps, receipts, photographs. Documentation for everything, Rob smiles. It's not a nice smile. Now you're talking. I go to work the next day and pull Dr. Patterson aside during lunch. She's been my mentor for 5 years, and she's been through 2 divorces herself. I trust her. I need the name of your attorney, I tell her. The one from your 2nd divorce. The shark. She doesn't ask questions. She writes down a name and number on her prescription pad. Catherine Morrison. Tell her I sent you. She's going to ask if you want to go scorched earth or amicable. Scorched earth. Good girl. She squeezes my shoulder. Document everything. And Sarah? Don't let him know you know. Not until you're ready. I meet with Catherine Morrison on a Thursday afternoon. Her office is downtown, 14th floor, with a view of the harbor. She's 50-something, impeccably dressed, and she listens to my story without interrupting. I show her my folder, now 3 inches thick with printouts, screenshots, and Rob's investigation reports. When I finish, she leans back in her chair and studies me. You're very thorough. I work in medicine. Documentation is everything. You have grounds for fault-based divorce due to adultery, which in this state means you're entitled to a larger share of marital assets. The financial fraud, using marital funds for the affair, taking your inheritance, that's going to play very well in front of a judge. The business is essentially worthless, so we don't need to worry about his stake in that. How do you want to proceed? I want everything I'm entitled to. I want my inheritance back. I want him to understand exactly what he's lost. And I want documentation that protects me from any debts his business has incurred. Catherine smiles. I'm going to enjoy this case. Here's what we're going to do. The conference in Chicago isn't real. I'm not going to Chicago. I'm going to stay in a hotel 15 miles from our house, and I'm going to let Marcus think I'm out of town so I can document exactly what he does when he believes he's free. I tell Marcus I'm leaving. Thursday morning, April 13th, I pack a suitcase. I print out fake conference materials. I even look up restaurants in Chicago so I can text him about where I'm eating dinner. Thursday morning, I kiss him goodbye, wheel my suitcase to my car, and drive away. I circle back an hour later and park 3 streets over. Then I walk back to our house, let myself in through the side door, and go up to the guest room that faces the street. I settle in with a book, my phone, and a bottle of water. Marcus leaves for work at his normal time. At 11 a.m., a white Mercedes pulls into our driveway. Amber walks up to my front door. She's holding an overnight bag. She uses a key to let herself in. She has a key to my house. Marcus gave her a key to our house. I record everything on my phone. The time she arrives, her walking through my living room, looking around like she's evaluating real estate. Marcus comes home at noon, takes a half day from work. I watch them through the guest room door crack as they open a bottle of wine at 2 p.m. As they laugh and kiss in my kitchen. As Marcus gives her a tour of the house, explaining his plans to update the master bathroom once things are finalized. They order takeout for dinner. They eat at my dining room table, the one I inherited from my parents. They watch a movie on my couch. And then, around 9 p.m., they go upstairs to my bedroom. I don't watch that. I don't need to. Instead, I go downstairs, quiet as a ghost in my own home, and I photograph everything. The wine glasses with their fingerprints, the takeout containers, her purse on my counter, which she's left unlocked. Inside, I find a jewelry box from Cartier. I open it carefully and photograph the diamond necklace inside, along with the inscription on the box. To A, with all my love. Forever yours, M. I put everything back exactly as I found it. Then I return to the guest room and wait. At 6 a.m. Friday morning, Amber leaves. Marcus kisses her goodbye at the door, promises to text her later. He watches her drive away, then closes the door and heads back upstairs. 30 minutes later, he leaves for work. I wait another hour before I leave. I drive to the hotel where I've been supposedly staying and I check in for real. I text Marcus a photo of my hotel room and a message about how the first day of presentations went great. Responds with a heart emoji and proud of you. Babe, I spend the next 2 days actually relaxing. I get a massage. I eat good food. I sleep in a king-size bed and watch whatever I want on TV. On Sunday, I drive home exactly when I said I would. Marcus is in the living room when I arrive playing video games. The house is clean, suspiciously clean. There's not a trace of Amber ever having been here. He jumps up when I walk in, helps with my suitcase, asks about the conference. It was wonderful, I tell him honestly. Really perspective-changing. I missed you, he says, and I think he might actually mean it. He probably did miss me, in whatever capacity he's still capable of missing me. People are complicated. I think he loves me and is betraying me simultaneously, which doesn't make it hurt less, but does make it more pathetic. I missed you too. The lie tastes like nothing at all. Monday morning. I go to Catherine's office with video footage, photographs, and a complete timeline of Amber's visit to our home. Catherine watches the videos without expression. This is actually perfect, she says finally. He brought his affair partner into the marital home during your absence. That shows a level of disrespect that judges really don't like, combined with the financial fraud and the fact that he's been planning to leave you while squandering marital assets. Sarah, you're going to come out of this very well. When do we file? I'll have everything ready by Friday. But Sarah, once we file, things are going to move fast. Are you prepared for that? Do you have somewhere to stay? I'm staying in my house. He can leave. Even better. In fact, let's coordinate with law enforcement. Based on the financial fraud and the misuse of your inheritance, we might be able to get a restraining order that requires him to vacate the marital home immediately. Do it. That week, I move through my life like I'm underwater. Everything feels distant, surreal. I go to work. I treat patients. I smile at Marcus over dinner. We have sex on Wednesday night, and I feel like I'm watching myself from outside my body. This woman pretending everything is fine while her marriage burns down around her. On Thursday night, Marcus tells me he needs to work late on Friday. Big meeting with a potential investor. Could be the thing that saves the company. That's great, I say. I really hope it works out. He kisses my forehead. Thanks for being so supportive through all of this. I know the money stuff has been stressful. I promise, once the business turns around, things are going to be different. I'm going to take you on that anniversary trip. Get you something nice. I'd like that. On Friday morning, April 21st at 9 a.m., Marcus is served with divorce papers at his office. At the same time, I'm meeting with a police detective downtown, filing a report about the financial fraud. Catherine has arranged everything perfectly. Marcus calls me at 9:47 a.m. I'm sitting in my car in the police station parking lot, and I watch his name appear on my screen. I count to 5 before I answer. Sarah. His voice is sharp, panicked. Sarah, what the hell is this? Divorce papers, Marcus. I assume you know how to read. This is insane. Where is this coming from? We need to talk about this. We really don't. Actually, you should probably get an attorney. Catherine Morrison is mine, so you can't use her. But I'm sure you'll find someone. Catherine Morrison? Jesus Christ, Sarah, she's... He stops. I can hear his breathing, harsh and fast. Okay, let's just calm down. Let's talk about this like adults. Whatever you think is happening, I'm going to stop you there. Check your email. I've sent you a folder. It contains photographs, videos, financial records, and a complete timeline of your affair with Amber Hetherington. It also contains documentation of every dollar you've stolen from our joint accounts, including my inheritance from my grandmother. That folder has also been provided to your investors, by the way, along with evidence that you've been using company funds for personal expenses. Silence. Long, terrible silence. You followed me? His voice is different now. Cold. I documented your behavior, yes. The GPS tracker on your car really was helpful. Did you enjoy having Amber in our home while I was supposedly in Chicago? The video footage of that is particularly compelling. You were there? Now there's fear in his voice. You were in the house? It's my house, Marcus. Or it will be. The judge is reviewing a motion to have you removed from the property. You should receive that order within a few hours. I'd start packing if I were you. Sarah, please. I can explain. I have a meeting with a detective. I really have to go. Oh, one more thing. Amber might want to know that your company is completely insolvent and you're about to be investigated for fraud, just so she can make informed decisions about her future. Goodbye, Marcus. I hang up. My hands are steady. I feel nothing at all, and it's glorious. The next few weeks are chaos, but it's chaos I've prepared for. The judge grants the emergency order removing Marcus from the house. 2 police officers supervise while he packs his things. He tries to talk to me, tries to apologize, but I stand in the kitchen with my arms crossed and say nothing. What is there to say? Amber breaks up with him 4 days after the papers are served. I know this because Marcus shows up at the house, still legally his home for the moment, drunk and crying. He stands on the porch yelling about how I've ruined his life, how Amber won't return his calls, how his investors have withdrawn all funding, how everything is falling apart. I call the police. He's arrested for violating the restraining order. I feel nothing about this either. Catherine is a miracle worker. By mid-May, we have an agreement. Marcus gets nothing. Well, that's not quite true. He gets his failing business and all the debt associated with it, his car, and his personal belongings. I get the house, my inheritance returned in full, half of his 401k, and a commitment that I'm not responsible for any business debts. I don't ask for alimony because I don't want to be tied to him in any way, and frankly, he'll be lucky if he's not criminally charged for the investor fraud. The divorce is finalized on August 3rd. I sign the papers in Catherine's office, and she opens a bottle of champagne. You should be very proud of yourself, she tells me. Most people don't handle this with half as much composure. I work in emergency medicine. I'm used to keeping calm during crises. Still, you did good. She pours me a glass. What's next for you? I think about the job offer I received last week. Director of Clinical Operations at a new urgent care facility opening across town. A substantial raise, better hours, more autonomy. I interviewed for it 3 weeks ago, and I crushed it because I'm good at my job, and I've spent the past 8 years making myself indispensable. I have some opportunities I'm exploring, I tell Catherine. I think things are looking up. It's now December, and I'm sitting in my living room solely mine, watching snow fall outside. The house feels different without Marcus. Lighter. I've redecorated the bedroom, replaced the furniture, painted the walls a soft blue-gray that makes me happy. The dining room table is gone, replaced with a new one I picked out myself. Every trace of him has been erased. My new job is challenging and satisfying. I manage a team of 15 people and we're building something good. Dr. Patterson calls me monthly to check in, and she always sounds proud of me. "You're going to be running a hospital someday," she said last week. I might. I'm 34 years old, and for the first time in a decade, I feel like my life is entirely mine to design. I heard through mutual friends that Marcus moved back in with his parents. His company officially dissolved in September. He's working in sales now, something entry-level. Amber apparently got engaged to a real estate developer and posts about it constantly on Instagram. I don't follow her, but one of my friends sends me updates occasionally, thinking I want them. I don't, really. They're irrelevant to my life. I went on a date last month. Nothing serious, just coffee with a physician I met at a conference. He was nice, smart, made me laugh. We're having dinner next week. Maybe something will happen. Maybe it won't. I'm not in a hurry. There's a wooden keychain on my counter, the one Marcus gave me for my birthday. I've kept it, though I'm not sure why. Maybe as a reminder of the moment everything changed. The moment I found that receipt and made the decision to document, to investigate, to protect myself, rather than confront immediately and give him time to hide evidence or spin stories. That decision saved me. Patience saved me. The ability to keep functioning while my world cracked apart saved me. I learned something important this year. Betrayal tells you nothing about your worth and everything about someone else's character. Marcus didn't cheat because I was insufficient. He cheated because he's the kind of person who makes selfish choices and tells himself convenient lies. The problem was never me. I also learned that I'm stronger than I thought. Not in some dramatic, triumphant way, but in the quiet resilience of continuing to function, to plan, to document truth even when truth is painful, in the ability to protect my future when my present was collapsing. The snow is falling harder now, accumulating on the trees outside my window. In a few months, it will be spring. The garden I'm planning will start to grow. The life I'm building will continue to take shape, piece by piece, choice by choice. I pick up the keychain and turn it over in my hands. Our initials carved into cheap wood, MNS. I drop it in the trash can under the sink. I don't need reminders anymore. My phone buzzes with a text. It's the doctor I'm having dinner with next week, sharing a funny story from his day. I smile and text back. Outside, the snow keeps falling, clean and white and full of possibility. The past is finished. The future is opening up like a door I'm finally ready to walk through, and I walk through it alone, whole and free.